Hello everyone, this is Minty Fries, and today I wanted to show you my collection of custom-made 3D printed fidget spinners, which I've been making on and off for 3 years now. I already have some videos on my channel which show how I made these spinners, but interestingly the majority of these I made when I knew very little about 3D modeling. So I thought I'd make a video to show them all off. Here's the first one I ever made based on the Shopkins toy franchise. Yes, that's weird, and you may be wondering why I made a spinner based on Shopkins of all things, but that's kind of a long story. It is actually the story of how I got into 3D modeling, so I may do a video about that later. But for now, this one is Vicky Vanilla, this one is Dusty Coco, no comment on that name, and this one is Mel Umbrella. Second one I ever made, and it is a Rocko's Modern Life spinner. Turn the page, wash your hands. We've of course got Rocko, Filbert, and Hef. I made this one for a friend who is a big fan of the show. Most of these spinners I actually made for friends, but some of them I kept for myself. This is the third one I ever made, and I made it because it was October 2017 and Mario Odyssey had just come out. We've got the Odyssey ship, Mario wearing Cappy, and a random Toasterinan citizen. This one is a bit weird, but it is 3 musical instruments which are some of my favorites. I collect rare musical instruments, you see. I'll put up a picture of my collection right quick so you can see what I'm talking about. But these instruments are the Concertina, you know, those hexagonal accordions that pirates play. This one is called a shung, and it is one of the ancient predecessors of modern accordions and harmonicas. Finally, this here is a bulbo tarang, also known as a benju or taishokoto, and you play it by holding down these buttons and then strumming the strings. I might do a video about my weird musical instruments later on. This one has 3 items from the game The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. We've got the ball and chain, which is like the coolest item ever in a Zelda game. So glad that was a usable item. We've got the underwater bomb with the fish teeth and everything. And I decided to get a bit meta by putting the ancient spinner on a spinner. Get it? Spinner on a spinner? This is the next one I made. Originally, I made this spinner based off of the 90s favorite Crazy Bones franchise, also known as Go-Go's. If you were born on or around 1990 like myself, then you probably had a pretty good time with these back in the day. Actually, in my school, kids would use these to gamble with real money, so they were banned after only a few days, but it was a fun couple of days playing Crazy Bones with my friends, let me tell you. My plan when I made this was to print this one and then make a silicon mold of it and then cast a copy of it using transparent resin, which you can see was successful. Anyway, we have here Troph, who is probably the single most sought after character. This one is Top Hat, and he was kind of like the Crazy Bones cheat code since he was so hard to knock over. And once again I got a little meta because this one is called Spinner, another spinner on a spinner. Aha! Then I made this one because Dragon Ball Super was in its prime, right in the middle of the Tournament of Power arc. But here we have Kefla. Everyone assumes that it's Kale, but it's actually Berserker Kefla, the fusion of Kale and Caulifla in Super Saiyan Berserker mode. Then we've got Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Goku. Classic. And then we've got Derpy Jiren. I'm not too happy with the way this one came out, but I did make an improved version of it, I just haven't printed that version yet. Jiren here came out so derpy because he's actually the very first model I ever made in Blender. All the rest of these spinners I made with the program Tinkercad, which is a very easy beginner's 3D modeling program. This Jiren head marks the first time I ever used Blender back in 2017, so of course I was not very good at using it yet. That seems like ages ago. This one I made because the last episode of Adventure Time had just come out, so I had to do something to celebrate that momentous occasion. So we've got the King of Ooh, not my favorite character by any means, but I like the way he turned out here. We've got Scientist Princess Bubblegum, my favorite iteration of PB. If you're going to have PB, why not have Scientist PB? And then we've got Huntress Wizard. The model I made of her somehow turned out better than the 3D print. For some reason she looks a bit derpy here. I already made videos about these last three, but here's my Pokemon card spinner, which I made in Blender instead of Tinkercad. Here's Holographic Charizard, which is, as I understand it, the single most valuable card ever, so that is why I included it here. Here is the Ancient Mew card, which was not an official card, just a promotional movie tie-in, but this card was dang beautiful. My friend has one, and he let me borrow it once. And finally we've got Gastly. I made this one because it was my favorite card as a kid. Wasn't that great of a card or anything, I just made it because I liked it. Almost done here. This one is a Hey Arnold Spinner. Big fan of that show. Here we've got Arnold. And then there's Helga. And we've got Gerald in his strawberry costume. I love that episode where they had to wear the fruit suits. Finally, the last one I ever made so far is this Sonic spinner. I made this for the popular YouTuber Angry Sonic. He had made a video promoting my channel about the 3D model I made of the Tiger Electronics Sonic wristwatch, which you can find here. I was not expecting him to do that, so I decided to make this for him as a way to say thanks. I've collaborated with Angry Sonic multiple times since then, so he is a pretty cool guy. You should go and subscribe to him. Anyway, here is Silver. It's no use, take this. Here's Amy Rose. And here is Shadow. Chaos Control. Well, okay, that's it. That is my collection of custom-made 3D printed fidget spinners. Proof that I am one hip dude who's down with all the current 2016 lingo. I'm with it. I am hip to the jams, and I've got the moves. I'm tired of all these blue-nosed dude-droppers trying to tell me that daddy ain't got the moxie, that I'm some upstart hay-burner who don't know the business. I know the onions, man. I've been copping up the bit since before you turkeys were born, so don't step to me. Have a minty fresh day.